This is a dunny in the middle of the Australian outback. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, this is my home. Not the, shit house, but, the centre of... You get what I mean. Come on, let me show you around. This is Tea Tree. This is the church. This is the old settlers building. This is a more recent abandoned settler building. This is a dead cow. And I think that's enough of an introduction for you to know what this place is. So let me show you some of the stories of Central Australia, one of the most remote places on Earth. This is Old Tea Tree Station, and if you kind of just look at the state of it, it's very run down. I was told not to directly film the houses, but you can see how run down everything is, really. You just take a look. Well, this is an old station house when they used to run a cattle station. I think it was built in the early 1900s, late 1800s. And look at it. Well, I don't know what that is. Asbestos, probably. Far out. And then you've got an old stove over here. You know, right next to the dry creek bed down there. Sometimes they do church services down there. And there's the old stove. Someone had a nice view when they cooked. Wow, look at that. This used to be someone's home. Imagine living out here. You know, this tiny little house is the only safety you have from the very harsh elements of Central Australia. Explain this place, Dan.
Well, we're a bit... There's the care, we've got to go there for it. That's the meat house, that stone building. It was a meat house.
Oh, it's not a home.
No, the home was burning.
Oh, but it's completely gone. So when was it built?
Well, they came in 1920, after World War One. He was a returned soldier from Italy. Remember, the third light horse died, 85 years old. But I don't think he might have had the lease in 1913, but didn't get here till after World War One.
Partially why I wanted to make this YouTube video was to kind of talk about the Coniston Massacre. Now, this is a massacre that happened in around 1928. Now, my dad has actually worked with someone who was a child at the time, and he vaguely, even though remembers the memories, he remembers people telling him about it. So the experience of the Indigenous people living there is still real.
And Lander Creek,
Which massacre?
1928, the Coniston Massacre.
Yeah, tell me about it, Dad.
There was a Coniston is southwest of here, about 100 k's, and people were running away from because there was a reprisals. There was a murder of a stockman who was murdered by an Aboriginal man called Bullfrog, and had stolen Bullfrog's wife. So no wonder he was upset.
The constable?
No, the Fred Brooks, was killed by Bullfrog.
Okay.
And so the police came after looking for Bullfrog. They couldn't find him. And one time he was hiding inside a rock. And sometimes they say, he used sorcery to hide himself.
Oh, really?
And they couldn't find him.
Oh.
He was hiding behind a rock or something. They didn't find him.
And
they had the Aboriginal trackers too.
And Bullfrog was an Indigenous guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd murdered Brooks, for taking his wife.
Yeah.
And so the police went around and they massacred people indiscriminately.
Really? And people hid around here?
Around this creek? A lot further up, I think, but I'm not sure. Well, they probably came this way, yeah.
So you, the viewer, may ask, how is life in Tea Tree now? This is the larger town of Tea Tree, not the cattle station, but just the general town. And I want to see this is open, but there's a kidney dialysis unit, and I kind of want to just showcase it because it was a self-use kidney dialysis unit. And what happened one day was that people have fainted because they couldn't get enough nurses to maintain the dialysis place. Now, if you don't know what dialysis is, it'll filter your blood because your kidneys don't work. And this is the mountable dialysis unit. There you go. It's currently closed now, but the Department of Health and Aging Renal Dialysis Facility. Yeah, it's currently closed now. It's all shut down. But basically in there, people used to, instead of having to go into Alice Springs, you could just do it here in your hometown. You don't have to travel so far. But unfortunately, because it was self-use, many people didn't know how to use it properly. And as you can see, it's just been left kind of abandoned, as there were too many cases of people fainting while on dialysis and no one was around to help them, which is very dangerous because it's a very complex, medical procedure that if you don't have training for, it's pretty rough. So, like a lot of these outback towns, not many people are around. Access to healthcare is really rough, very sparse, and there's never enough funding because there's not much industry here. And this is the local AFL team, Teach Me Roosters. This is the home field. Don't need a stadium. No vegetables. The only healthy food is a boiled egg, $1.50, or some fruit. Buying chicken stock, $7. Spices. This is actually not bad price for spices. $10.50 for salt. Highly processed foods, anything available. Found it. We got some fresh veggies. $10.50. $6. $5 for cucumber. $8 for garlic. $6 for pumpkin. $8 for lettuce. Tomatoes. $11.50 for a kilo of apples. This is for an entire town, an entire region. These are all the vegetables on offer that are available. Essentially, I am tying two tragedies together. A story from 100 years ago and one that is happening today. Diabetes is a huge problem that impacts Indigenous Australians disproportionately. Watering hole. Since obviously there's no public toilets, we have to go to the creek for the bathroom. So we're just all finding our bathroom break before we attend the funeral. But obviously, you can just hear the music starting and the wailing will begin. Yeah, so it's just kind of highlighting this a lot of pain out here in the bush. And a lot of it's that not much has been done to help people, not have to go through this pain, not go through this suffering, more accessible healthcare and healthy food.